Hello, everybody. Welcome to Government Secrets, episode, I believe, 36. We're going to bring Lee Camp on the program in just a brief moment. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, do all that business. Still demonetized by YouTube. They have started running ads, but I don't really get money for them. That's cool, right? They're profiting from my content, but I'm not. I think that's great. I feel proud that I'm letting that big tech is getting to do that to me. So that's exciting. Thank you to everybody watching we're currently streaming on YouTube, Rockfin, and YouTube or Facebook, whatever. Go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. What's up? All right, I'm going to move this just a little bit, just a little bit like that. And then, I'm going to just have, before I do the show, I'm going to have a little water from my new PV merchandise mug available at GrahamElwood.com. Ooh, screen grab that. And make that your ringtone. Let us bring Lee Camp on the program, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little after 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4:05 on the West Coast. And I think it is 3 in the morning in Dubai. I don't know that we got a lot of viewers in Dubai. I hope we do. Let's bring on Lee Camp, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, buddy?
I'd like to point out this is not Political Vigilante. This is Government Secrets. You cannot sell your merch here, motherfucker. Only Government Secrets merch.
But yeah, just put a G. Just buy this and then paint a G and an S over it, and then show me the photo, and I'll split the money with Lee.
All right, now we're talking.
Well, welcome everybody to Government Secrets episode, I want to say 36. With Lee Camp and Graham Elwood, breaking it down.
In pandemic world, you could have said 56. I wouldn't have known. I would have been like, sure, 56. Yeah. That's where we are now.
Whatever number you need it to be. We have an action-packed program, Lee. I think we're going to keep talking about all the good stuff the police have done. I've got some presidential stuff. I mean, I'm giddy.
I'm going to say third biggest ever. Third biggest episode ever.
Third biggest.
Yep.
I think definitely top 30. It's definitely top 30.
You're shooting a little lower than I am, I guess, but
I just don't want to get anybody's hopes up. You know what I mean? Like, this could all get taken away. How's everything in your world, man? You've moved recently, or in whatever.
I am in a new apartment. That is correct. I've moved about 3 blocks. Maybe I mentioned that before. So moving up in the world by roughly 3 blocks. And
a 3-block move.
What's up?
What prompted a 3-block move? Just
a little bit more room and black mold. The black mold is not at the new place. I didn't move to get to black mold.
I thought it was like a thing you wanted.
I was leaving black mold.
All right. Leaving Black Mold is probably my favorite punk album.
Well, that was that was the album where Black Mold was kind of straying from their roots, Well,
it was like almost like a jazz album with punk themes. I mean, it was really amazing. I mean, and I know some people freaked out, but
if you consider taking a saxophone and breaking it over a brick wall, jazz inspired.
Well, that's what I felt like it was. It felt like something Coltrane would have done. Maybe when he was on heroin. I don't know, but like I just feel like it was exciting, and
it was more exciting than the black mold in my old apartment.
Well, I'm glad you left it. I just thought you were looking for things like, washer dryer in the unit, black mold, more closets.
Yeah, well, there are at least one or two more closets, so that's a
Oh.
big change. It's a big change.
Sweet.
Yeah. How about you? Are you moving too?
Yes, I am moving.
That's fucking fun, right?
Different undisclosed place. So I got rid of a bunch of stuff like last summer, and I just kind of went through a like get rid of it and then moved into like a furnished place. And so
Nice.
the furnished place I'm in now is up for sale. So I found another one, and I'm never going to buy anything again, Lee. I think I'm just going to rent my life the rest of my life.
Just boxes of mugs that you got to sell. That's it. That's all you carry from place to place.
But even these mugs, they're on demand. So this company just makes, I don't do anything.
Nice.
Like everything. I'm just
Nice.
like, you deal with it, send me a check.
So does that mean that if it's furnished, does that mean at the new place you can sell their mugs that were in the place?
Yes. Whatever mugs they have, I'm going to sell them. Like I'm just going to write PV on their plates.
Yeah. Just scribble PV on it. And who wants a PV couch? Says PV on it.
Oh, PV bath mats. Oh, who wants them? Little used, little black mold, but still fun.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think you're tapping into something which is actually very important, which is we've been told to buy all this shit. And then you get to a point in your life and you're kind of like, either why do I need it or why do I own it or what's the point of it? Is this, I think the movie that dealt with this best was like the first 10 minutes of Fight Club, where he's talking about like the pieces, the shit you get defines you rather than you defining what you're buying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, that is the Fight Club thing was such a, some people were like, oh, it's a movie against toxic masculinity or whatever. Like, I don't know about all that, but I saw a movie that was really against capitalism. And pretty much, there's that conversation between Edward Norton and Brad Pitt when Edward Norton's apartment gets blown up and he's like, man, I didn't know what to do. Oh man, that was going to be my couch. That was going to be my stuff. And that's when Brad Pitt says the thing you paraphrase, which is, sometimes this, the stuff you owns end up owning you. And so I really, last summer I got rid of a bunch of crap and moved, and I had lived in the same apartment for 9 years. And it was the most cathartic thing I've ever done is getting rid of stuff. And I was like, some of it made sense. Like, okay, Christmas decorations. All right, I'll bring these out once a year. Fine. But some stuff was like, what a sushi set and
right.
Chiefs. Like, what am I?
How often were you making your own sushi? Be honest, Graham.
Oh, I want to go never. It never happened. There's no way I'm going to make my own sushi. Like, what? I go to school for that for years. I'm just going to roll it out because I think it's easy. Who the hell? Why would I want to do that?
Well, I had this realization recently. I was at, I don't normally go to stores very often, but I was at Bed Bath & Beyond. I needed a knife. Someone had pissed me off. Long story, but I needed a knife. But anyway, I went in there and I realized that what it is about that place, but this really goes for like most stores, is that everything in there you kind of need. You think like it does solve a problem. The question is, does that problem really need solving? Like they sell like the metal thing. A lot of people own these. Maybe in my house growing up we had one. I don't remember, but it's like a little stand. It's a metal stand. You put a paper towel roll on, and so it holds the paper towels upright. And you see it on the shelf at Bed Bath & Beyond. And you go, well, that solves the problem of the paper towels tipping over. But do you really need it? Do you really need it? Do we have to go from like house to house carting around the little pole that holds up the paper towels? And your whole life becomes that. It all is that. It's all garbage that kind of solves a problem that's not a problem.
And some of the problems are like, do you need paper towels? Like, could you just use a dishcloth?
Right.
Like, do you need this disposable thing that then goes on another disposable thing that you carry around in the back of your Corolla? escaping black mold or whatever, like this like it's just, and I'm telling you, when I first got into this place and I looked around and I went, whenever
we can see, but if we can see from the background, you're living in a dark void in space. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a furnished dark void.
Oh, okay, furnished. Yeah.
Really
if you watch closely every once in a while, you'll see just like a sofa chair float by in the background
with a soap dish. But I look around this place and I go, none of this I got to move.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm going to pack up in a day. And it's just like this gear, this TV I'm selling behind me. The new place, I'm just going to rent one of these. I'm done buying. I'm just done. I'm just going to rent it. Drop it off and pick it up. I don't want it when I'm done.
It's amazing.
Leafgate, I've been renting cars when I need them. And
I haven't owned a car in 10 or 12, more like over 12 years. Wow. I live because I lived in New York City before this. Now I live in DC, and it's like if I need a car, I rent one, which it takes a little time to get it, but it's not that big a deal, and I don't have to deal with a car.
Right, and it's like it's so liberating. I'm looking at this place. I see a microwave and a blender, and I'm not bringing any of it. There's like this little hutch stand, like this TV's on. It's like stand, or I don't know where it's. I'm leaving. It's not my fucking problem, and I'm just like later. It's so great. And then a couple of things that I did buy, like a shower caddy and a scale. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not bringing a shower caddy and a scale anywhere. I'm gonna just get a new one.
You might need the scale if you're eating too much of that homemade sushi. That'll gotta keep tabs of things.
Yeah, the scale would be to like, oh wow, I dropped 15 pounds from making my own sushi. I don't know what I'm doing, and I've got some sort of fish bacteria in me because I didn't know what I was doing. All right. Speaking of homemade sushi, should we finish up the police?
Let's do police part 2. Yeah.
Government secrets segment 1, police part 2.
Wait, it's part 2 of segment 1. I'm lost.
I know, it's really confusing. I really want our audience to be as confused as possible. That's my goal.
All right. Well, here are some more. So for those who didn't hear last week's episode, you should absolutely go back and check out last week's episode. That was when we went through most of the facts I'm going to give on American policing, the largely hidden, or even when they are spoken about on your mainstream airwaves, they're kind of rarely sprinkled in. You might hear half a mention, but it's certainly not focused on. And I have a few more, so this will be a shorter part of the 2 parts. And I think we might have mentioned it last week. We've certainly mentioned it in previous episodes, but for those who don't know, and this fact is incredible because you hear everyone in their propaganda trying to say, oh, China imprisons all these people, or Russia imprisons all these people. But America, as we've mentioned before, has the largest number of prisoners in the world, the largest number of prisoners per capita as well. We have 4% of the world's population and something like 22 or more % of all prisoners everywhere. I mean, if you look at the charts, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if you look at the charts of per capita imprisonment, the United States is just blowing away the competition. So by that definition, or any definition, we are the largest prison state in the world. So while we run around saying every other country is, violating human rights because we're trying to lay the groundwork for invasion or a Cold War or some shit, we are violating more human rights than anybody. We are the largest prison state that really the world has ever known.
USA. It's just like, yet again, we have no business criticizing anyone about anything. It's just, I'm glad you brought this up because now I wasn't aware of some of these stats. Now it's good to add this to the list of shit I don't want to hear Americans accuse other countries of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing is like, I'm all for accusing other countries of human rights violations, but it just can't come from the United States. It can come from other countries. It could come from, certain sectors of the UN at times. But the idea that the United States can point the finger at anyone is fucking laughable. And when you're spending time saying, like, listen, I really think we need to dig into to China's human rights violations. If you're an American, you're really, by doing that, you're really just defending the American empire, because it's not that there aren't human rights violations in other countries around the world, but by doing that as an American, you're helping lay the groundwork for manufacturing consent for, another war or a Cold War, or pushing us closer to the nuclear brink, the brink of nuclear war. So it's just horseshit to run around doing that.
Yeah, it justifies, and just like sanctions or whatever, like, and it does justify, like, last month when we bombed Syria, and in the mainstream media was Iran-backed rebels or whatever, and there's no evidence to suggest that at all. But everybody just gobbled it up. Everybody who's just like, hey, Biden's the lesser of two evils. It's okay when Democrats bomb people. They were like, well, Iran, they had to do something about them. Iran, it just helps. It is manufacturing consent for all that. And it's so ridiculous. It's literally like a UFC fighter going, man, there's way too much bloodshed in hockey.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And the Syria thing. I did a segment on Redacted tonight, I think 1 week ago, where I just tore apart this CBS 60 Minutes, this real concerned look on his face. He literally starts, it's a 10-minute report. He starts it by going, normally, we encourage your children to watch 60 Minutes, but this next segment is not for them. Oh. And he's like, and he just goes into how what a war criminal Assad is, and how Assad is the largest war crimes committed in this century. And it's like, oh, really? Not the 1 million people we killed in Iraq? It's just everything Syria. Not the fact that our sanctions on Syria are killing people right now. Children, elderly, people can't get medication. They can't get electricity because of us. And but it's just Assad. He's the only one that's committed any crimes here.
Oh, it's just like unreal. And the 85,000 dead kids in Yemen. I mean, we could just go on and on of all the crap, the awful crap that America's done. That's just like Assad. And really, all Assad has to do is let us, build a pipeline through his country, and, and we'll be on board, and he can do whatever he wants.
All he has to do is just let us make his country a failed state, and then all would be fine.
That's it. That's all we got to do, and then we'll just let us take whatever we want, take his resources and his geopolitical landscape and his geographical location, and then we do whatever we want. I don't know why he keeps fighting.
I don't understand why he's fighting it either. So to move on to another fact about police, police now commit more crime than they stop. And I don't mean the police killing people and the corruption and stuff. I'm talking literally stealing people's property, civil asset forfeiture, the art or science of grabbing everyone's property because they are either connected to a crime or suspected of a crime or whatever, but all their property's taken. It could get to it can be to the level of a homeowner doesn't know that a drug deal took place behind their house or in front of their house or something, and the cops can take the home or take the car that was next to it or what like. And so it's gotten to the point, and you can read articles about this. There's been a touch of mainstream coverage that civil asset forfeiture, more property is stolen. More property and people's belongings are stolen through civil asset forfeiture than is stolen by burglaries, like street crime. So literally the cops are stealing more crime from the people than the burglars are stealing. Like civil asset forfeiture is now by dollar value higher than street theft.
So I guess, God, the question is, how do we motivate regular burglars more?
Exactly. Yeah. How do we get them back above?
Like you guys are kind of dropping the ball a little bit. We need you back to get the numbers up. so the cops don't look bad.
Well, listen, I think they were doing a great job. It's just that you can't compete with the cops. I mean, the cops are world record breaking.
It is true. It is like a good basketball team going against LeBron James or something. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So I guess we should have a GoFundMe for these burglars to give them more to help them
Absolutely. Absolutely. A GoFundMe to help them out, hook them up. So even outside of the other crimes like shooting people, cops are committing more crime than they're stopping. Here's another fact. And by the way, so these are all from a variety of sources, but the list I'm going through is from a column I wrote a while back, which anyone can find by Googling Lee Camp, 19 facts about police. So here's another one that may seem obvious, but when you think about it, maybe it takes a second to stop and think about it. Cops often protect inanimate objects against unarmed citizens who are the people that they have sworn to protect. For example, in Standing Rock or in any of these pipeline fights, police, often in riot gear, are steadfastly and in a military way protecting an inanimate pipeline or inanimate property against the citizens who they've sworn to protect, which I think is about as good an example as you'll get of how the police have become the fist of the fascist state. Their job is to protect the pipelines. Their job is to protect the property of the wealthy. It is not to protect the citizens that they're often attacking during these protests or during these marches or what have you.
So again, it sounds like people need to become pipelines.
If you dress up like a pipeline, you will be much better protected.
No, that's absolutely true. Like, no joking aside, you will absolutely be more protected if you dress up like a pipeline. Oh my God. Yeah.
Or if you dressed it up like a gated community.
So when you go protest and you're locking arms, just lock arms, but look like a gated community in a wealthy neighborhood, and then they won't bother you.
Yep, and then the cops will protect you against others. So.
Yes. So we all just need to become Rolexes and luxury cars and pipelines, and then we're safe.
Exactly. Oh. So, to sum up some of this, you have a militarized force of not very bright people on all of our streets protecting the property of the rich against the people they've sworn to protect. And most of the arrests are not actually because the people were threatening the property of the rich. It's just to grab people up, get them in the system, make their lives hell. And one thing this list does not get into is how difficult it is once you've been arrested. So, let's say you're arrested for looking at a cop the wrong way and they find a half a joint in your pocket and you get put into the system. It can really fuck up your life. Even if you don't spend time in jail, you can lose public assistance. You can have trouble getting a job. You can lose public housing. It can impact so many things, and that's even without jail. But of course, with jail time, it's 100 times harder. You're removed from your community and your society for 2 years or something, and then you have to try and jump back in and establish yourself and establish a career or a job or something. So I just want to get into one more thing, and then we'll wrap. That'll be the end of this list of policing. I wanted to talk about how police are trained. Police academies spend, and there was a recent study on this, police academies spend on average, so you take all the police departments in America, you average them out, 110 hours on firearms and self-defense. So 110 hours on how to shoot things or how to beat people up. And they spend 8 hours on conflict management or de-escalation. So they spend 12 times as many hours learning how to shoot and kill and harm people as they spend learning how to not shoot and kill people. which I feel like is the polar opposite of what they should be trained. You know, it should be a lot about de-escalation. It should be a lot about how to not have a situation end in a bloodshed. But instead, it's the polar opposite. And, you know, that's if they get much training at all. I know that I'm not sure if it changed recently, but in Georgia, they had a rule that you could become a cop even as you're training to become a cop. So there were people acting as police having essentially zero training. But even in the other states where you have to have training as police to be a police officer, even in those states, many of them, they get very little training. So in most states, according to another recent report, hairstylists are required to have far more training than police officers. Even your hack news service, CNN, reported, quote, the minimum training requirement for Michigan police officers is 594 hours. To work with electrical signs, you need 4,000 hours of experience. So 600 hours to be a cop, 4,000 to work with an electrical sign.
Oh, well, I mean, it's good there's not a lot of electrical signs having protests. I guess. I don't know what to say.
So yet again, dress up as an electrical sign if you're a protester, and you'll be better off because the cops can't deal with you because they only have 600 hours of training.
The greatest thing about this show is every time you think this country isn't as insane and awful and misguided and horrible system, you go, nah, you didn't learn about this. There's this thing. You thought if you had an ounce of, well, you know, America's pretty good in some of these areas. Oh no, you're absolutely incorrect. We're not in the top list 10 of anything good. There's no way we're in the top 10 of anything good.
And the other thing that this show is in danger of becoming is, you know, I say a fact and then we just cut to Graham groaning. Oh God. If you want to, listeners, if you want to be kicked in the groin with facts, this is the show for you.
On another episode of Lee's Facts and Graham's Groaning. It's like, and the thing why there's always that reaction on every episode is because these are such fucking fixable problems. Like, it's so easily fixable. Like, just add a 0 to the training of the, you know, add conflict resolution should be 1,000 hours of that, you know, like it's unreal. Like,
yeah. And where they do get training, like I talked about how much training they get on how to shoot things. A lot of it is just fucking awful shit. I mean, there's been a little uptick in the reporting on how many of our police departments train with the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. It depends on which police in which areas, but in some cities, they'll fly them to Israel so that they can learn the latest in how to basically abuse people, surveil people, attack people. So the IDF is training many of our police forces in horrific ways. And let me tell you, they're not training them how to de-escalate, how to listen, we're going to send you to Israel so you can learn how to just calm things down a little. All right. Just decrease the temperature.
That's just everybody calm down. It's okay to have illegal settlements on your land. Just everybody relax. It's just more.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's I don't see the connection between that and AIPAC being like one of the top donors of the Democratic Party. And then the NRA, the top donor in the Republican Party. So like you just see they're all working together just to keep everybody, the cops just armed and horrifying. And
Well, yet again, you can see how this is yet another issue that the Democrats and Republicans are identical on.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Democrats aren't right of many of the Republicans, Joe Biden was the one who has led many of the bills to make, looking at a police officer crooked, against the law. Or, I mean, he is just, when he was in Congress, just every chance he got to make something to put something more in the law to help police abuse people, or to put something more in the law to make it like a mandatory minimum if you try and resist when a cop's arresting you for no reason. I mean, that's a lot of Joe Biden there. And so it's, the Democrats and the Republicans, that's something they can always get past. They can pass fucking loads of that shit because neither of them are ever going to stand up against like a fascist police force.
No, I mean, it's why they're always on the same. I mean, look, they're on the same page in terms of budgets and legislation for war and bombing countries, and the police are just, it's the same thing. It's the same mentality and budgetary, just like, as I've mentioned many times, and most cities are the same, but in Los Angeles, the LAPD gets 54% of the city's operating budget, just like the military gets the majority of the federal operating budget.
Yep, that's almost the same percentage as the military gets of the federal budget.
Yeah, and that's why, and all this money could be allocated to be dealing with actual, making people's lives better. We don't have a society anymore. And you talk about both parties, this really started in the 80s, that whole tough on crime crap, and which was just, scare tactics for white suburbanites, like, oh, the blacks and browns are coming, so tough on crime. So they'd put all these Willie Horton type images on the TV to then get Americans to get on board with this, signing away your rights, giving the police like total authority, and giving them all this armored vehicles and all this crap, rather than like schools and jobs and things that would actually reduce crime. We don't spend a goddamn nickel on getting at the root of crime. We don't. We just spend money because look, I mean, we know this too. I'm sure this is on your list next, of like the military sells its old equipment to police departments in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like,
I don't know if it's on the rest of my list or not. I don't remember, but the 1033 program, which after some of the killings, Obama made a big show of how he was going to crack down on the 1033 program so that military weaponry don't end up in cities and stuff. And the Congress made a big show of like successfully passing this bill to decrease the 1033 program. And at the end of the day, there was something like six devices that could no longer, six military weapons that could no longer go to cities and police departments after the bill passed. However, three of them were already stopped or banned. Right. And of the final three, and I don't remember what each of them is, but I remember one of them was bayonets. So no longer would our military be sending bayonets to city police, which was a real problem. It was for all those cops fighting the War of 1812. It was a real issue. So luckily, Obama was able to crack down on the bayonet, the bayoneting of citizens.
Boy, there's nothing like a good Obama Democratic empty gesture. Like, we've made a big step forward with this bayonets. We've just no more bagpipes with the police departments, signifying a Scottish invasion from the 1500s. Like,
we have limited the amount of chain mail that will be shipped out to police departments.
No more chewing gum under park benches. We've done it. We've finally cracked down and real substantive change. Oh God, these people are stupid. These two parties.
But so that's pretty much it for the police facts. The last two we kind of mentioned at the end of last episode, which is that police departments do try and hire cops that are not that intelligent a lot of the time. And they legally, in 2000, I don't remember the Supreme Court or a federal court, but decided that is fine, that police departments are allowed to give IQ tests and not hire smart people. And then Ray Lewis and others have talked about how they also try and hire cops that don't have a lot of empathy. So if you score too high on an empathy test, then they figure policing is not for you.
Yeah, and it was the Supreme Court. There was a cop with a high IQ who was turned down. I forget which police department. It might have been like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Or
I think it was Connecticut.
Okay, it was in Connecticut. And it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And they were like, no, they don't have to hire smarty pants. We just want to get a bunch of cold, hard dummies to just
bunch of steroidal no necks to beat the shit out of people.
Bunch of bloodthirsty roid freaks to just shoot rubber bullets at children or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, and then when I hear the whole few bad apples, there's just a few bad apples. I'm like, really? Like all this evidence that you just laid out is not few bad apples. This is systemic. This is like legislative. This is budgetarily. This is the problem. And it's like the bullet, there's so many examples we could bring just recently. So last summer, when that cop from the Buffalo Police Department just shoved that 70-something-year-old man to the ground and his ears started, which was horrifying, and the cops just stepped over him. And then when that guy got fired, 57 cops walked off the job in protest. So they're psychotic. It shows A, these guys were hired that have no empathy. B, they're not that smart to just be like, yeah, we're doing our job. You really shoving an old man to the ground? So I'm so tired of the few bad apples thing. The few bad apples thing holds about as much water as the Catholic Church saying few bad apples. And then when they go, yeah, but look at the good work the cops do. Oh, the Catholic Charities helps a lot of people out. So we're just all supposed to pretend that the Vatican hasn't protected pedophile priests.
Right.
Chris Rock has that bit from his special from like a year or two ago. Is like American Airlines doesn't go, well, hey, we crash most of the time we land. Don't get all mad at us when we do crash because most of the time we do land. It's like you're dealing with life and death. You don't have this margin of error. And then
and in terms of the good things the police do, you could have a completely different system where most of those things still happen. You could have a completely different policing system in America where cops literally only come when there's a fucking issue. They're not just an armed patrol on the streets all of the time. And I go into a long bit in my comedy special about, although there's a lot of, a point to it, which is like, if you want someone to give out speeding tickets because a car is going too fast, then create a little group called the Speeding Ticket Patrol, and they'll be filled with 80-year-old Walmart greeters, and they'll give people tickets because their car was going too fast. And you don't need those people to have guns because that's fucking insane. But the truth is, the reason those people are cops and have guns is because that's not their real purpose. Yes, they'll give out speeding tickets, but their real purpose is to keep society in check, make sure that the rich can continue to exploit everybody, that the class structure can remain in place, that black people can be abused, native people can be abused, and it's really to just cement that system. That is their real goal under the guise of, hey, we tell people to pick up litter,
Yeah. And then they'll go, well, there's detectives doing good work. And I always say, yeah. And one of them I had one of them on my show 2 years ago. He's an old friend of mine. He was a child crimes investigator. And I'd say, yeah. And he got that job because he's really smart. He became a detective out of patrol because the handful of smart ones in the force, and police departments, they get to become real investigators and detective work, which is actually that's the police work we don't want to get rid of, right? Like, is that type of, child crime investigator, murder, because
you'd have
dumb guys stay on patrol. The meatheads stay on patrol. They don't become detectives.
Right. And you'd have a completely different thing called child crimes investigators. That wouldn't be cops running around with fucking automatic rifles on their chest. They'd be child crimes investigators. In that rare case that they were going to storm a house and, rescue a child, yes, there'd be guys with guns. All right. But that doesn't mean that you need them standing around the other 99% of the time. As I mentioned in the list last week, an average cop has 1 felony arrest a year, meaning almost the entirety of what they do is not those big crimes that we point to as being the reason we need police everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing, too, is like, you talk to most cops in major cities. I remember talking to some Santa Monica Police Department, some officers, and they said that like 90% of their calls are dealing with homeless.
Yeah.
So why don't we deal with that issue instead of spending billions of dollars on armored vehicles and training these guys to kill everybody? Why don't we put some housing?
Yeah, I actually you're reminding me. I about a few months ago did a segment on Redacted Night because a cop was defending police, and he said, and he was like tweeting, and he said, "Here's what they won't tell you," and it shows a chart of kind of a pie chart of the amount of time a police spend doing various things, and the biggest block of the pie chart is like false alarms or something. And then another large block of the pie chart is like saw someone suspicious or homeless person wandering around or something. And then there's a tiny little sliver that says like, active shooter or something, or violent crime. Tiny little sliver says violent crime. So this guy was trying to defend police by saying, look how much they do that is not the big bad running around chasing a gunman. And my point is exactly. So how about all of that other 99% is not fucking steroidal guys with guns? Right. Like for all of these other things that you're pointing to that police do, it should not be fucking dudes with guns and who want to arrest people just for asking them the wrong question. Like his attempt to prove how great police are just proved how ridiculous this system is.
Yes. And they're just like, oh, so you just want to get rid of the police? No, defund the police. Let's see how that works. Actually, rather than just reacting like some Sean Hannity moron, why don't you think about what we're talking about and take these jobs off your hands that most cops don't want to do anyway? Most cops don't want to deal with homeless people. They don't want to write speeding tickets. They don't want to deal with traffic stops and crap like that. So we would give those jobs to other people. We would reallocate that money, and then we'd put money into, I don't know, this is a crazy idea, probably one of those weird Greek or Roman ideas of actually building a functioning society where things were made better rather than just giving money to the billionaires. And here's another goddamn thing, getting back to like, well, cops do real investigative work, the Child Crimes Unit. Okay, let's talk about the Child Crimes Unit. How many like Epstein billionaires have they arrested?
Right.
They get the mid-level people, just the guy, pedophiles can be anybody, any socioeconomic status. And hey, anytime you rescue a child, great. But how many times, how many billionaires have had a knee on their neck? How many billionaires have been shot in the back for reaching in their pocket? You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing. We do all this good work. Okay, why don't you go get the heads of the snakes? Oh, we can't. Wouldn't you want that power to go do that?
Right. And what police do is chase all of these tiny petty crimes. Well, and everything else I was saying about cementing the class structure and everything, but they don't go after the massive crimes. Like they'll go after a guy stealing a candy bar, and there's literally examples of people, because it was their third strike, serving like life in prison for stealing a candy bar. They'll go after that guy. They're not running into fucking Goldman Sachs and bringing down the bankers who stole billions of dollars. And in the rare case that someone big actually is caught, like let's say the Sackler family for the opioid epidemic, that's not dealt with by your police, by your average police, and they're not going to prison. So in those big cases, those aren't even done by police. So really what our police do is just fucking trace poor people and get them into prison and destroy their lives and upend communities. And it's fucking disgusting.
If there was footage of Goldman Sachs and Citibank and, Les Wexner just getting the crap kicked out of them by cops, I would have that on a loop behind me.
All of a sudden you'd have Blue Lives Matter t-shirts on.
I would be the first guy I'd be able to be wearing a Blue Lives Matter shirt. But see, there is no footage of that. So I just sorry, I can't listen to this propaganda anymore. It's
I
not
like that. Did you just come up with that?
No, I heard somebody put it online last summer. Propaganda.
It's good stuff.
Right? Well, before we move to our next segment, I was told by Kate that I have a little bit of an echo. I don't hear it anymore, Kate. Do you still hear it?
I don't hear it, but your words are always echoing in my head. So I want you to know.
As well they should, Lee Camp. You should my voice should be the first you hear when you wake up and the last one.
Oh my God, you should sell the Graham Elwood alarm clock. Hello and welcome to the day. Welcome to the day with Graham Elwood.
Rise and shine. Get your vegan guns ready for
Rise and shine. How about a shower and a knuckle shave? Huh?
Wax up that surfboard. It's time to get ahead of the day. So we've got 575 people watching, folks. Hit the like button. And of course, if you're watching this on either one of our YouTube platforms, like, subscribe, do that. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, like, positive reviews, all those cool algorithm things help. And
yeah, we have close to 600 people watching live, but once it goes on the podcast and goes up on my channels and everything, we are talking in the thousands. So to thousands of you out there.
There are thousands of you out there. So so before I get into my segment, I will say this. Ron Placone and I are talking about kind of tentatively going back on the road in September, October, if this fourth wave doesn't just wipe everybody out and we're all done. Of COVID, as some countries are going back to full lockdown, which I'm just like, oh God. But I just got my second Moderna shot, so I feel all right. And no, I don't want to read your comments about how you don't like the vaccine. Never do I get the flu vaccine. Never stood outside of a CVS and going, why are you doing that? So just keep your opinion to yourself. Thank you so much.
Right. There's absolutely no, I mean, we don't need to talk about this for long. There's absolutely no nuance in the vaccine discussion. It's like, yes, vaccines are run by big pharma and they exploit them to make a lot of money, and they encourage kids to get ones that they don't need often and things like that. That does not mean that every vaccine in the world is bad. And you can, if you think that, this vaccine right now is somehow evil, look to the fact that America is not giving it to its adversaries. Every country that America hates, they are refusing to send them vaccines. So does that mean anything?
Yeah, that's why Iran has to get vaccines from Russia and China.
Right.
So what does that tell you? And third world countries are begging for this vaccine and they don't have the money to just snatch up 100 million doses of it. So yeah, we eradicated polio with the vaccine. Oh, and there's like in Angola several years ago, they had a polio outbreak because they couldn't afford to pay for the vaccine. So
there's also the fact that the rich and the oligarchs all jumped the line and got the vaccine in like January. All right. I think even it came out that the Pentagon and CIA and everything, they were all vaccinated in January because they view their lives as more important. And we're the unwashed masses that come later. But
yeah, so there's that. Think about that. And then like you post something online and I always get some dumb thing in the comment section from some shitbag and, shut your fucking mouth. Don't get it. I don't care. Like I'm a sober vegetarian. Whenever somebody posts a photo on Instagram of their cocktail or their meat sandwich, I don't write, you're pushing alcoholism and murder. I just let you eat and put whatever you want, put in your goddamn mouth, and I shut the fuck up. So do the same with the COVID vaccine. Anyway, here's our next segment.
I think we touched a nerve. Sorry about that, folks.
Just every time I mention it anywhere, there's always some fuckwagon that won't shut their goddamn yap hole. And there's so many stupid things that they do that I don't yell about.
Well, but this is, and this could be a fucking 3-hour conversation, but this is kind of the sad thing about those who are willing to look beyond corporate media is they're the ones who are willing to question the reality that they're being sold by these garbage propaganda outlets that are funded by billionaires. And so some of them, a percentage, are then questioning everything, and they think there is no reality. You know, and it used to be Illuminati, and then it was lizard people, and then it was QAnon, and they believe, so they're being sold anything that is outside what CNN will talk about, which is not the way you or I function. We go by legitimate facts and legitimate sources. Just because something's outside of what CNN talks about does not equal truth. It has to also be backed up by reality.
Yeah, I've been on a plane, so I know the world is round. So you read there's a really good YouTube channel that talks about flat Earth. Yeah, no, you don't. You know, Elvis is dead, and
the flat Earth is one of the best. That's
flat Earth is fantastic. They're fantastic people.
Oh man, there's a great documentary on Netflix about the flat Earthers.
Oh, great. I can't wait to watch it. Anyway, what I was going to say is
segment two. But as Ron and I are planning live dates,
oh yeah, there might be a live Gov Seeks or two sprinkled into that, Lee.
Man, I would love it. I'm down. Here's the thing is I would love to perform again and everything. I want people to do it safe. The thing, because some people are like, oh, well, they're already like DC is opening live venues for like 30% capacity starting like next week or something. But I don't really see how the financials of a lot of it works out. It's tough to run a comedy club if you can only have 30% of the people in there. Now, That being said, I'd be willing to lose money to come do some shows with you guys. So.
Well, I'm hoping too, like as the vaccine rolls out, that by September, I'm not willing to go on the road now, but by September, the percentage of people vaccinated will be a lot higher to where the venues can be at 50 or 60% or something like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, we could make a little bit of money. I don't know. I can't go on the road and just lose money every week.
Right.
We're kind of hoping it could be profitable enough by the fall that things are open up enough to where there's enough tickets can be sold. The venue can make money. We can make money. The audience has a great time. So if that all lines up, we're going to be doing some shows and we'll do some live government secrets. We'll do the Political Vigilante game show. And,
I mean, if we can sell t-shirts with the little pocket on the shoulder, I think we'll fucking make bank, I think, at these shows. So,
well, those are going for $1,000.
But they have a special 50 cents in the pocket. So you get some of the money back.
And well, you don't know, a couple of them are going to have like a piece of gold that, will pay for the shirt. You don't know which one.
We won't tell you who ended up with the gold, but someone's getting the gold.
Someone's going to get it, just like Willy Wonka. All right. Government secrets, final segment. Oh, we've been yapping for a while. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, we have. We'll plow through it.
Well, this one isn't as extensive, but I just wanted to, because I've been trying. Now, you got to give me credit. This is the second week in a row I have done a non-operation something. So
very impressive.
I did somehow weave in Epstein into the cop talk, but this isn't an operation or a project. I wanted to talk about all the presidents, and I just found this website that went through all the presidents who have been in secret societies like the Freemasons. And this is a little nutty.
Just a few skull and bones, right?
Well, there's skull and bones, but then there's some societies I've never heard of. So this photo you see right here, there's Truman with some kind of Freemason cooking apron on. So I don't know.
I mean, that's the other thing is like these people in their secret ceremonies, they all look like little boys, like dressed up for Halloween. It doesn't like inspire like, oh wow, how important you are.
Yeah. It's always like, oh, you had to go through this ritual and this hazing. I don't want to do that. Can't we just get together and figure out how to make the world better?
Can't it just all be the Eyes Wide Shut party? Nothing else?
Yeah, it's just have kind of like an orgy, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The part where I drink the urine out of Geronimo's skull, I don't need that.
no one's burning anything on my ass. That's just not happening. I don't need that.
Or like you'll hear about the frat hazing where it's like they blindfold the guy and then they put their nuts in his mouth, and it's like, that doesn't sound like hazing. That just sounds like you wanted to be gay and you didn't know how to.
Yeah, you just didn't know how to go. Hey, how about we just a bunch of dudes live in a house and we're gay and we'll have fun?
Yeah. How about we just acknowledge that we're gay?
Let's just say we're gay. We don't need a secret handshake and haircuts that all match. Why don't we? Yeah, I never joined a fraternity in college either. I was like, why do I want to be buddies with some guy? I gotta you gotta know you can trust each other. Well,
and you can only do that if you had someone's nuts in your mouth.
That's not trust. That just seems really weird. So anyway, speaking of nuts in the mouth, there's Truman with his weird apron. And these are the ones that there's like George Washington was a Freemason. All right, we all kind of knew that. But he was the first ever Masonic president.
And is it the corner of the Capitol or the corner of the White House? The cornerstone is a Freemason stone. Like it was like a big ceremony where they had the Freemason stone put in and everything.
Well, obviously the Masons are all over. Like if you look at the back of the $1 bill, there's that crazy Freemason symbol and the eye and all that stuff. And he entered the Fredericksburg Lodge number 4 at age 20, according to the Mount Vernon official website. And he stayed a Mason his whole life. But then there's
we got to get you some kind of ad blocker. You always have sexy ladies all over the page, and
it's really weird. I don't know how to do it. This is like Euro date. Like, what am I? Can we just?
I mean, it certainly makes the show more enjoyable for me, but I don't know.
No one's looking at what I'm scrolling.
I know.
Like, oh wow!
Everyone's like, George who?
Oh, George who? Who's Anastasia in Kiev or whatever? So Thomas Jefferson was maybe. Does Safari have an ad blocker thing? Let's see if I can go into their preferences real quick. This is exciting for the audience, right? As I go into web preferences.
Hey, we've had a lot of requests to see our web preferences on a show, and
I'll do that.
Finally, we're doing it.
Let's see Safari's preference tab. Let's go into that. That sounds exciting. This is a fun show. All right. Thomas Jefferson was a member of the FHC Society.
What is that?
This is where some of them got weird. Fraternis Humanitas et Cognito, which was Latin for brotherhood, humanity, and knowledge, which, I don't know, sounds like putting nuts in a guy's mouth to me. The group became known as the Flat Hat Club, probably a reference to the mortarboards all students wore in those days. They identify themselves with a secret handshake, along with a silver badge inscribed with the words Stabilitas e Fidelis, stability and faith, which is now the motto of William and Mary's campus newspaper. Perks included exclusive parties in the upper rooms of the local taverns, according to Mr. Jefferson's women. So again, it was just about getting drunk and getting laid. That's all these guys are doing, weirdos.
Yep.
Then James Monroe was a Freemason, right? And he entered the Williamsburg Lodge at 1776. He was a 17-year-old student when he entered the Freemasons. And there is a comprehensive catalog of the correspondence and papers of James Monroe in Volume 1. And he dropped out of college to fight the Revolution. This I didn't know about that. Andrew Jackson, best hair of all the early presidents, was a Freemason. And in this one,
what a good guy he was.
Yeah, he was. This one, I don't know. He looks like Count Dracula in this particular painting.
At that time, in order to join the Freemasons, you had to kill roughly 1 million Native Americans.
Yeah, yeah, he got in. He found the first ever third party in U.S. politics formed as part of a backlash against the Freemasons. Ooh, wow, I didn't know that. The seeds for the anti-Masonic party were first sown in 1826 when Masons were implicated in the still unsolved kidnapping of a New York man who threatened to reveal the secret rites. The political party opposed what is perceived as a sinister, elitist, and anti-democratic secret society. Ah, I didn't know that. So they went after him. James Polk was a Freemason. Polk looks fun in that photo. Doesn't he look like a lot of fun?
He looks like a 1800s farmstead like grandma. Like she's had 17 kids and she's been through a lot of shit, and she knows the world, and she's like, this is how it fucking works. All right.
17 kids, 5 of them died.
She's outlived 2/3 of all of her progeny.
Yeah, she's like knows how to like brand a horse, and she was kicked in the head by a mule and then punched the mule back and killed it just as revenge.
She knows how to inseminate an elephant, but that was just a hobby of hers.
And she built a log cabin out of aprons, like just one together,
and didn't even live in it. She just built it and just left it there because she was like, I just wanted to show you I could
do this. And every day she just chews on leather, just so Polk was a Freemason out of the Grand Lodge of Kentucky. And so he was 25 when he got in there. James Buchanan was a Freemason. And there he is with a bunch of weird neck shirt wearing guys in front of some creepy book. I don't know what that was about, but
they totally had their nuts in each other's mouths.
Look at them. That's just a ledger tracking how many nuts went in each other's mouth.
Well, you got to keep track. Otherwise you end up with repeat customers,
Wait a minute. I think I've had these nuts in my mouth before. Who didn't write this down?
I know I'm blindfolded, but this smells familiar.
Buchanan, did you not write this down correctly? You son of a... consistently worst ranked presidents in history was Buchanan. Andrew Johnson was also a Freemason. Wow, a lot of Freemasons. He was a proud Mason. Played a great role in his funeral proceedings. Ulysses Grant. Now, this is where it started. Was in the Ulysses. Sorry. Independent Order of Odd Fellows. Aren't you related to him?
I'm related to Lee.
Oh.
I'm related to the guy he beat.
So Grant was in the Independent Order of Odd Fellows. Now, I have never heard of this secret society.
I thought the Independent Order of Odd Fellows was like a children's movie.
I thought it was like a Sean Connery movie. I don't know. It was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't know. It has its roots in modern early Europe and was an offshoot of England's Odd Fellows, of course. The American version of the organization was officially founded in 1819 in Baltimore. The order focused on charitable causes and eventually admitted both men and women as members. And according to the general's wife, the life of Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant, who struggled with drinking at times, joined the order after his wife became pregnant with their second child. The papers of U.S. Grant feature an invitation from the order asking then President Grant to attend its 50th anniversary celebration in Philadelphia in 1869. Garfield was a Freemason. Boy, look at that steely-eyed psycho. Look at those. Look at that photo. Wow.
Yeah, that guy drank a lot of mercury cocktails.
That guy has eaten human flesh. Look into his eyes.
He actually just grows steel wool out of his face.
Like his eyes, I think if he stares at you long enough, like you just melt.
Well, that's one of those vampires where it's just like too obvious. It's like, who are you fooling? You know?
Right. You're a vampire.
You're a vampire.
Come on, Jimmy. Stop the nonsense. Jimmy Garfield. Yeah, he was a Freemason. Rutherford Hayes.
And he loved lasagna. Oh, wait, no. That was
he loved
someone else.
Rutherford Hayes was in the Independent Order of Odd Fellows and liked long walks on the beach and candlelit dinners. There he is posing next to his hat.
Posing next to his crumpled hat, which does have a rabbit in it.
He also came from the Garfield School of Weird Beards.
I wonder how odd you had to be in order to get into the group of odd fellows. Like,
yeah, what was the man? Yeah, I'd love to know what the criteria was.
Was it just like two different colored socks on, or was it like once he ate a live cat? You know, like,
was it like you're double jointed, or was it like, what was it? Like a bunch of different things?
is it like the guy that walks around with like his pet ferret on a leash on his shoulder? So that kind of thing?
Well, yeah. There's like a guy with a parrot on his shoulder, and then the ferret guy, and then the dude wearing the kilt, you know, and they're all like, all right, you guys can be in the Odd Fellows. Now put that dude's balls in your mouth. These societies gather under the same friendly roof in close intimacy persons differing widely in occupation, politics, religion, and conditions of life, and fuse them easily and naturally into completely harmony and cordial friendship. That's how they just talk about these societies in general, but they're not really explained. McKinley was also a Freemason and Independent Order of Odd Fellows, so he had a twin bill.
Joining the secret societies.
Roosevelt, Freemason, and
Concatenated
order.
On.
Yeah, of who? What is that?
The concatenated order of who?
Of who? Like, is this a Monty Python skit? Like,
wow.
What does this mean?
That's incredible.
So Teddy had he's got his weird Freemason apron on, but the well,
when you're milking the blood of the non-believers, you don't want to get it on your nice clothes, so you got to have an apron, you know.
Yes, it's just like, yeah, the virgin's blood, you don't want that to fall down the wrong pant leg.
No.
So what were the hoo-hoos? The hoo-hoos resemble less of an exclusive secret society and more of a business fraternity. It was a fraternal organization for men in the lumber industry and boasted Teddy Roosevelt, one of its most favored members, due to his conservation work. Oh, so the hoo-hoos were just like lumber barons that like came up with a wacky name to distract people from the fact that they were just plundering the earth. And
right. I mean, let's remember back then they didn't have television, so this was what they did. This was it.
Yeah. All right. We'll start a hoo-hoo group, and Taft was in the Skull and Bones, and now we're getting into Skull and Bones.
Okay, the Skull and Bones has begun.
Which is a little. The Skull and Bones, is out of Yale, and there's been 3 Skull and Bones presidents, Taft being the first. And let's talk about Skull and Bones a little bit. Of course, he was a Mason. Well, they don't really go into Skull and Bones.
One is Bush, and I feel like Kerry was one, but he's not a president.
Kerry and Bush were both ran against each other in 2004, and they came out that they were both Skull and Bones.
I'll
give you a hint.
As to the third?
Yes.
Kennedy. I don't know. Who went to Yale?
It's all in the family.
Oh, the other Bush.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both Bushes were in the Skull and Bones. Isn't that weird? Gee, how did George Bush get into Yale with a C+ average? Huh. Weird.
How did that happen? It was his cheerleading skills. I think that got it for him.
It was his getting arrested for coke that his dad swept under the rug. Was it that one?
That might have been it, or the oil company ran into the ground. That was probably after college.
Probably, yeah, that's right. Major League Baseball that he screwed up. Anyway, Warren Harding was Warren Harding had the longest list of weird groups in all of time. Freemasons, the Odd Fellows, and the hoo-hoos.
He was a hoo-hoo and an odd fellow? Jesus.
And a Freemason, which was like, wow. Didn't know that. FDR was a Freemason and an Independent Order of Odd Fellows. I did not know that. I didn't know FDR was a Freemason.
I kind of assume they all were. Like, if they weren't going in, then they probably got initiated when they arrived. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, that's
and then if you count them as a secret society, if we get into the Klan, Woodrow Wilson was inducted into the Klan in, I believe, a White House ceremony, and Truman, as we covered, wanted to be in the Klan, and sent his membership fee, but he refused to stop hiring Catholics, so they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, so that's those that this website didn't have those those two things that we've covered on this show. And then Harry Truman, again, Freemasons, Independent Order of Odd Fellows, and they left out that he wanted to be in the Klan. But I'm sure all these other creepy looking white guys, some of them were in the Klan as well. But then, hiring Catholics. Oh, Tricky Dick, the only Order of the Red Friars.
Wow.
We've had.
Dick was not a Freemason.
No, he was not. And that's maybe why why he got impeached.
Yeah, might be.
So it was a semi-secret society at Duke University, the Order of the Red Friars. New members were initiated or tapped by a member of the order donned in a red hood and robe. Sounds pretty mysterious. Well, this would all happen on the steps of Duke Chapel in the middle of the day. Oof.
They had some of this shit. I went to UVA, and they had some of this shit at UVA. There were 3 secret societies. One was the Sevens, the Z's, or something, and the Sevens was the most secret, and apparently you only find out at their death. The grave site will have a 7 on it or something, and you're not supposed to know before then.
Wow. What do they do? Why does everything got to be so secret and weird? Like, why can't they just...
I mean, because you don't... In today's day and age with social media, you don't want everybody knowing you fucked a goat, so you gotta keep it on the DL.
Yeah, and the fact that the minute you say secret society is when I go, well, then there's no way you're doing anything good.
yeah. There's never a secret society like helping people.
Yeah, like, oh, it's all these secret people just secretly helping people. No, it's not. No,
secretly, a bunch of children were fed.
Oh, yeah. Secretly, we ended poverty. Oh, we stopped homelessness. No, no, you didn't. Gerald Ford, Freemason, and I would also add the secret society of the Warren Commission that he was on.
Yeah, seriously.
And I think, George. So then here we go back to the other Skull and Bones. HW at Yale was a Skull and Bone, and then Junior
Skull and Bone. Did we just skip over Kennedy? I mean, at the very least, Kennedy was getting a lot of hoo-hoo.
Yes, Kennedy, to my knowledge, was in no secret society. I think that's one of the things. It was such a big deal that he was the first ever Irish Catholic president. Is he was outside because back then it was like, the Catholics are bad or whatever, and not for the reasons you and I might have, but
right.
Yep, those are your secret society presidents, courtesy of government secrets. Creepy societies.
Also not on that list was those who were members of the deep state, like HW being former CIA, head of the CIA.
That should be a whole nother episode. Is just CIA presidents.
Yeah,
which has been everybody since Kennedy.
Yeah, definitely not Kennedy. Yeah,
definitely not him. No, not him. Actually, a fan sent me the book, JFK and the Unspeakable, the one that you referenced.
Yeah.
In a 3-part episode that got my show demonetized. So
I'm still blaming Epstein. Oh, by the way, though, you have new evidence to back up your claim that it was me and government secrets that got you demonetized. I was on the Annalise show, and soon after she put up my episodes, they deleted her whole channel.
Yes, I had her on Friday, I think, to talk about that. And she was like, "Oh my God, I had Lee Camp on my show," and I was like, "Ew, that's a kiss of death, that guy.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
That'll get you every time. We're gonna find out he was part of the Secret Sevens when he dies." So,
yeah, no, and this kind of goes with the way that I have been suppressed and I don't know, attacked, but mainly suppressed. But I'm fascinated by these people who are talking heads who you've been talking about for a long time, but some of them are kind of new to this idea of suppression. And I noticed, Brianna Joy Gray tweeting the other day. She goes, I'm usually getting 5,000 Twitter followers a month. The last month I got 600. Something is going on here. And I'm like, yeah, some of us have been talking about this for like years. I'm like, welcome to the club. I think I've been at the same number of YouTube subscribers since 2016. So welcome.
Yeah, I know. We're all like Johnny come latelys to what they've been doing to you. Yeah. And people are like, I can't believe this. I'm like, I remember the producer of my show, and she first started working for me in 2018. And that's when I first started seeing suppression. I'd been doing my show about a year and a half. And I was like, just watch anything with Yemen in the title. And she was like, she sent me a screen grab. She was uploading something and they demonetized it before it was finished uploading just because of the title.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, oh my God, it's real. And I'm like, yep, yes, it is. It's very.
Yeah. I mean, the title thing sucks. But I don't know. It feels different when it goes to that whole other level, which obviously you've been, targeted by, which is it's not just you could put this is a happy video of me and my cats, and still they're not going to show my video to people because of like who I am.
Yeah.
So it's like you get to that level and it's like, what the fuck, can we do? Like,
it's really, I mean, I'm grateful for Rockfin, obviously, and other like my Patreon and just my audience supporting my show. And, you've got your RT show. You got to have other revenue streams because YouTube, you cannot depend on them at all.
Yeah.
So I'm on Odyssey now too. I'm all my stuff's on Odyssey.
Yeah. Odyssey is nice because it will automatically do it from YouTube. So yeah, all my stuff's up there too.
Yeah. So check that out. But I think that's the end of episode 36 of Government Secrets.
I stick with what I said. Top 3. I'm saying top 3.
Top 3. I'll put it up there. Top 3. So Lee Camp, where can everybody find what you're doing?
All my stuff's at leecamp.com, my TV show. You can also check out at youtube.com/redacted tonight. And if you are a subscriber of Graham's YouTube channel, which is where we do the live stream, but then it uploads later to mine. So I'd love for you also to subscribe to mine because there's a lot of stuff there. That's at youtube.com/moment of clarity. And then, of course, I'm also on Rockfin because YouTube can fucking suck a Freemason ballsack. So.
Yes, YouTube can suck a Freemason ballsack. Folks, yes, I'm still dropping stuff on YouTube. Obviously, if you're a fan of mine, likes Lee's channel and stuff, if you're a fan of Lee's like mine, it helps both of us. And it helps this show, which we hope to take on the road, barring whatever. More nonsense or an alien invasion or whatever's going to happen next. Barring that, Sasquatch revolution, whatever's coming next that we have.
I'd be down with that.
I'd be so down with it. There's just like 10,000 Sasquatches just come down from the mountains and just like take over Seattle or something like that. Would just be like awesome. Just Sasquatch revolution.
And in a lot of ways, it'd be a relief. It'd be like, thank God. Thank God. That's
good.
I'd just be happy to see that a new species was thriving rather than dying out. So
I thought they were on the endangered list.
Yeah.
They're not. This is great. I'll go Seattle. We got to kind of write it off. But hey, Seattle had a good run. They tried that autonomous zone. Now it's a Sasquatch village. It's fine. Everybody tried. It's a good city. Anyway, support what I'm doing. Go to GrahamElwood.com. You can get all my shows, my merchandise, and all that stuff. And of course, if you go to rockfin.com /Graham Elwood and support me on the premium, you get all my premium stuff, all Lee's premium stuff. It's blockchain, it's cryptocurrency. So check that out. And you can see past episodes of the Political Vigilante game show where Lee and Eleanor were on, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, that's our show, buddy. I think that's it. Unless there's any final
Thanks, man. No, that's what I got. Also, if you ever need a guest appearance on the Graham Elwood alarm clock, I'm there.
Rise and shine, vegans. Let's take on the world. All right, buddy. Good seeing you.
All right, later, man.
Bye. Lee Camp, ladies and gentlemen, government secrets. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 424 likes. Get the likes up to 500, everybody. I'm going to read now. A great way to support the show is go to rockfin.com /Graham Elwood and do the tip feature. There's no YouTube shut me down, so I can't take any super chats, but I will read your tips over on rockfin.com. Tony DeMayo, shave your knuckles for justice. Never stop exposing Hollywood neoliberal propaganda. You got it, my friend. And also, too, if you're new to what I'm doing, if you become a Rockfin premium member, which is only $10 a month and gets you premium access to everybody's content, mine, Lee, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Richard Medhurst, Ron Placone, Kim Iverson, on down the line. You also get access to tonight, Monday night, every Monday at 8 o'clock Pacific time. I do Graham's Late Night Crypto Lounge. We talk crypto. I'll do political segments as well. It's a little more, loosey-goosey. I sing songs because there's no copyright issues. It's like an intimate live chat. It's really cool. So that's what things you get for your $10 a month. On top of, you get access to Graham Goes to Russia documentary and the game shows, which are only available at Rockfin and Patreon, and the karaoke videos. Melissa H. What's up, Melissa? Making Gotham great again. Monday night, time to forget that Government Secrets is streaming. I'll watch when I miss later. Love you guys. Right on. Thank you, Melissa. Tony DeMayo. Boom, boom, boom. Civil asset forfeiture by cop is legal. Hold on. Sorry. Is legal because of Joe Biden. He made that legal because he didn't think Reagan was tough enough on crime, of course. Melissa H. Boom, boom. Thank you both for the Rockfin love. Even if Chauvin is convicted and put in prison, he will still get his over $1 million retirement pension. Yep. Tony DeMayo. Boom. Do you think the police should have their weapons taken away? Yeah. And only allowed to use them when there's like an active shooter or they got to serve a warrant on like a serious criminal or something like that. But they shouldn't just have them for everything. Melissa H., final tip of the day. I'm related to Robert E. Lee, so I'm related to Lee. Hey there, cousin. Ah, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. Right on. Let's go. Let's see where we're at. North Maples, love your crypto segments, Graham. Thank you for showing up for those. Boom. MHC, save your knuckles for justice. Thank you for supporting the show. Special live stream leading up to extraterrestrial invasion. Could be, buddy. Alien live stream. That would be hilarious. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. We got 29 people watching over at Rockfin. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Tony DeMayo, boom. The Order of the Oddfellows sounds like a Monty Python sketch. Yeah, that's what I've said. It's kind of nuts. Over on the YouTube, 459 likes. Let's get the likes up to 500, everybody. Come on now. Come on now. You could do it. You could do it. Kate is our moderator. Lee Camp is related to Robert E. Lee. Yeah. Yeah, my karaoke songs are only available at rockfin.com. Oh, what a fun government secrets. So that's the other thing too. Like if you missed the live stream of Government Secrets, like you just tuned in, you can watch the playback, the replay on Rockfin and Patreon, and we will release it. What's today? Monday? Yeah, it'll release like later today or tomorrow for everybody else. Gina G is also related to Robert. So everyone's related to Robert E. Lee. Come on, man. Everyone can't be related to Robert E. Lee. Boom, 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 boom. Drama eloped with Georgia and came to Cali. Nice. That's right on. Cousin Melissa and Gina G and Lee Camp, you're all cousins. A lot of people telling us that they're not related. That's good to know. It's good to know who isn't related. Dave Bird, boom, boom. Dave, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks, Graham. Dave B, tenant organizer. Boston sent email to your public email off website. Good luck in the struggle and the lining and the lifting us up. Oh, you got it, Dave. You got it, brother. Thanks, man. I'll look at that. Like I said, I'm moving at the end of this week, so it's a little bit of a busy week, but not too crazy. We want Granny Petrol tonight. Oh, Granny Petrol will be on the live stream. Come on, Rockfin, 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 Rockfin. Maybe we do Granny tonight. Maybe we do Granny right now, huh? I'm related to Napoleon. Also related to a cult leader in Utah. Wow, Gina, you've got a kind of a nutty family. I'm related to the citizens of Gotham. Ah, behold my vegan guns. Look at my vegan fury. But Greta. You know what? Let's do a Granny Petrol. I gotta go because I gotta get ready for the second show in a couple of hours. In 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I'm related to Genghis Khan and Thomas Jefferson. Come on. That's a little nuts. My grandma invented horsey sauce at Arby's. Nobody famous here. Did your grandma really invent horsey sauce, Kate? That's fantastic. Wow. So Gina's from a Mormon cult and Robert E. Lee. All right, Gina. I get that's why you work in science, I guess. That makes sense now. Apparently Robert E. Lee was in one of the co-ed secret sex societies. Oh, yes. Wow. Your grandfather was a chemist. Everyone last name Dula or Dooley is related to Tom Dooley, hung for murder. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Having parents from nut job families definitely introduces me to some perspectives. Yeah, if you ever go into an Arby's, just say thank you, Kate. Someone's related to William Penn and Ulysses S. Grant. Come on, you guys really are everyone making this up? Do you know this for sure? Everyone's just saying stuff now. I was related to Paul Revere's horse. I was the one. My great grandmother was his horse who rode us in and did one of by land, two of by sea. My uncle drank Contras in Nicaragua to fight the Sandinistas. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, you got it, Ben. Have a good one. Horsey sauce is really good. That's what I do. Back when I used to eat meat, once in a blue moon, I'd go to Arby's and I would get the horsey sauce and I loved it. And then they're like tangy Arby's sauce or whatever, that with the horsey, I'd mix it together. It was fantastic. If they made vegan meat and gluten-free bread, I would go to Arby's again and get horsey sauce in honor of Kate. Are they even really Arby's anymore? I guess they still have ads. We have the meats. Yeah, I don't eat murder. And when you go to Arby's, get some horsey sauce and say, this is for Kate. And then just pour it like a drop and say, this is for all my dead homies. You know what I mean? Just a drop of horsey sauce for your dead homies. Just always put one, like you throw salt over your shoulder. Just, hey, this is for Gotham. On the sandwich for Kate, and this one's for Gotham. That's what we do. Good horsey talk, you guys. Really good horsey talk. Thanks for the show, Graham. This old man got to go. You got it, Norv. Hey, horsey sauce is great. Right on. All right. I gotta go. Oh. We have the greens. Arby's. Paul Revere was just a gossip. My great-grandmother's third cousin knew Paul Revere's blacksmith boyfriend, who was their neighbor. So I'm basically related to the revolution. Like basically my family fixed the revolution. We won. What are my spiritual beliefs? Have you seen Surviving Death on Netflix? I have not seen Surviving Death. They were all in hoo-hoo together. Yeah, wait a minute. That's what we really... Kate, is your grandfather... It was the horsey sauce made in some weird, like, hoo-hoo ceremony? Wearing some weird horsey sauce apron? Or, like, the Arby's logo is like a hoo-hoo Freemason mashup? There used to be a place in Chicago that made an awesome vegan Reuben. Oh my God, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. The apron. Now I'm afraid someone's going to send me some Freemason apron in my P.O. box, and I'm going to like, oh God, I got to wear it. I get really cool stuff. Thank you so much. The JFK and the Unspeakable book is really cool. My parents are in the Odd Fellows. Oh, it's yeah. So the Big Mac special sauce was made by the Oddfellows, and the horsey sauce was made by the Hoo Hoos. It was like a rival sauce. There was a sauce war amongst these secret societies that Gina and Kate's families are related to. So that's where those sauces came from. There was a sauce battle amongst these secret societies and some weird midnight blood oath, fucking goat freak out, and out of it came horsey sauce. It's really good. Um, they really joined after your sister and I were out of the house. Oh God, Gene, I thought you were joking. What the fuck's going on? Oh man. Gina, you win. I can't compete with the rocket science. Oh. All right. I was gonna sing a song, and then we're talking about horsey sauce. You will see me this evening. Absolutely. The Masonic Order of the Hoo Hoos. All right. They're legit in the Oddfellows. For real? What? Oh my God. They waited till you and your sister left the house and then they joined the Oddfellows? What the I would be like, what if I would freak me out if my parents joined a secret society? Jesus. Man. Let me know how Christmas dinner goes. Yikes. Watch what apron your mom's wearing when she comes out with like the turkey or whatever. Like, oh, it's an Oddfellow. Yeah. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Yeah. Oh. Granny Petrol, she hasn't sang in a while. She's going to sing a song. We'll be right back. The apron represents service to humanity. That's a good thing, guys. Okay. Sure it is. Hello, Granny Petrol here. Sing a little song. Excited? I've got a little go-go juice, if you know what I mean. Oh, that's good fracking fluid. Let's sing a song. But what I hope Granny Petrol here. enjoying a fine song. People like in my eyes, indisposed, in disguise, as no one knows, Greta. Hides the face, lies the snake. In the sun, in my disgrace, Greta. Boiling heat, summer stench. Sounds like a fun night to me. Looks dead. Call my name. Through the cream, Greta. And I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? It's fun to play in oil. Sudden cold and damp, steal the warm with tired friend. Times are gone for honest men, sometimes for too long for snakes. My shoes, walking sleep, and my youth I pray to creep. When I played in coal mines, it was fun, Greta. Away, no one sings like you anymore. Black hole sun, it's so fun to play in a coal mine. Black hole sun, have some fun. Oil slicks are slip and slides. Greta doesn't want you to have fun, so she outlaws coal mines and children laughing. But Greta, won't you come? Won't you come? You've got the time, because Greta stopped going to school, ordering school stripes, angry at day goats, riding in a hippie boat from Europe. Won't you come on an airplane that burns fuel that makes the skies pretty? That's why we have clouds, Greta. Without smokestacks, we wouldn't have clouds. Everything would just be blue and sunny and weird. Oh, Greta, how much you need to learn. That cold sun is fun. Children love playing cold. Why don't you play in cold weather with an old angry scowl on your face? Wear more dresses. Boys are not going to like you if you're this angry. Nobody likes a negative Nancy. Hang my head down in fear, Greta, till you all just disappear. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, it's so fun to play in a coal mine. Black hole sun, have some fun on a slip and slide of oil. Won't you come that time? Stop being angry. Better, that whole science been fun. Oh, better, won't you come? Full-powered locomotive, not some sailboat running around. Come now, Becca. Have a delicious bite of coal. It's like an apple. Just toothbrush. Oh, this song plays a long time. I like the guitars.
Made from oil. Guitars are made from oil, Brenda. Rock and roll comes from oil. Granny Petrol out. Watch away the fun. Brenda's angry, doesn't want anyone to smile. And free, 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 and free.
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free. Free.
Oh, sorry. I had to make you watch the TurboTax song.
I just started delivering for DoorDash, and I absolutely love it. I was looking for extra ways to make some cash, and I decided to give it a try.
That is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Late Night Crypto Lounge tonight, 8 o'clock Pacific time. If you are a Rockfin Premium member, you get to see that show and all of my premium content and everybody's premium content on Rockfin. Also, you can support the show at patreon.com/GrahamElwood. Go to GrahamElwood.com to get PV merchandise. Boom. Thank you. Granny definitely has a dark side. Melissa H., thank you for supporting the show on Rockfin. Have you watched Dark Winter about DuPont poisoning us for decades and the corporate lawyer who found his coincidence and tried to take him down? No, I did not. I want to watch that. I had no idea. Thank you all for supporting the show on the YouTube and the Rockfin and the boom or the boom or the boom boom. If you missed the live stream, you can get the playback as a Rockfin premium member and also on patreon.com/GrahamElwood. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later tonight, and I will be live again tomorrow, probably around 7 o'clock, maybe with Justin Jackson. We're going to bring him on. I want to talk about the reparations bill in Evanston, Illinois, where I went to high school and he went to college, and also how I want to get his view on Major League Baseball pulling out of Georgia. They were going to do their all-star game this summer in Atlanta. They're pulling out, and how that is the kind of activism we need. So we're going to talk to Justin tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to get that lined up. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, follow the money, connect the dots. That's where you get the truth. That's how you make Gotham great again. And that's why you shave your knuckles for justice, because you are all political vigilantes. Her black ocean, her hair, her hair, her hair, her hair.